Welcome to the Curiosity Crisis. We challenge ourselves to explore the world of business, tech, investing, and science. Get curious and be part of our journey as we discuss, challenge, and learn.
Locky Gilbert will be a name familiar to many. Locky has lived a life in the public eye for a while now, having been a star on hit shows The Bachelor, SAS Australia, and Survivor, and has made appearances on many other shows in his time. He's an avid adventurer and a family man, and shares his life with us through his Instagram, inspiring many to get outdoors. What people might not know, however, is Locky's also a businessman and has found adventures along his journey and is part of how he makes a living today. He's also interested in AI and how to use it to do things more easily, better, and faster, something we absolutely love, having covered AI ourselves a few times on the podcast. He's had an epic journey and we can't wait to pick it apart with the man himself. So without further ado, Locky, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, Locky, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming on. And we like to kick our show off with something that relates very closely to the title. What's been keeping you curious? So yeah, what have you got for us?
Well, I suppose at this time it would just be, I suppose it's the same for everyone, but like work-life family balance. It's something that I think I've struggled with now because I've got an 8-month-old daughter. It kind of throws a spanner in the works. I've been so just being able to do my own thing, but now I've got a family to support, and then I love adventuring, and then I like business. There's so much happening. It's just rolling that all into one and being able to make sure I have time for everything.
Oh, we love that. And congratulations as well. 8 months
Thank you.
late, but hey, better late than never, I guess.
Exactly.
How is Bub?
Yeah, she's amazing. She looks exactly like me, so I feel sorry for her like that. She's super tall, but yeah, she's been amazing. But my wife, is the best person in the world. I really don't know how people do it, like without someone like Irina.
That's incredible. I absolutely
awesome.
love that.
Now, speaking of Irina, you met her on a reality TV show, and I guess, you know, we wanted to just get a bit of that story. How the hell did you get into a career on TV? It seems so strange and so, I guess, rare. Like, how does that happen? How did this all come about?
Yeah, it is very, very weird. I just keep getting asked back to do TV after TV, so clearly I'm doing something right or wrong. But it pretty much, it all started, I was living in Europe and doing adventuring, traveling all over the place, and then my dad actually sent me an application for Australian Survivor back in 2016. So I applied for that, and I was like, I need to do something a little bit different. So I actually had my phone and I was just like looking at it. Hey, I'm Locky, 27 from Perth, and this is my audition tape. But I was standing on top of a 150-meter antenna, and then I turned around and I ran and jumped off and then pulled a parachute and then base jumped down to the ground and then pulled my phone out again. I was like, so this is why I would be good for Survivor. And no one else did that. So that got me on. And then I guess from there, got asked to go back again, and then kind of grew a little bit of a profile. And then that's when they asked me to do The Bachelor. And I mean, pretty much said yes straight away to that. And then, picked Irina at the end, got married, had a kid, and then that was the whole story.
Now, just quickly, you said that you did Survivor and then you got asked to be on The Bachelor. Was that the same organizers that then ask you, or is there like a contact who goes, I know that Locky would be great for this, and then they like refer you? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, it's the same production and channel. So I think the cross promotion worked really well. Like, I was already on Channel 7, being like a Channel 7 kind of person, Channel 10, sorry. And then it kind of was like an easy transition.
Right, okay.
Or they thought I was going to be amazing. They're like, this guy's like most eligible man in Australia, but it clearly probably was.
And
just
you were like, wait for me to prove you wrong. You were like, I got this.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what's the process then? Like, this is probably just out of personal interest, and I'm sure a listener or two might want to get on one of these, one of the TV shows. What's the process when you do an audition tape? How many like interviews and stuff do you have to do, or how do you get onto the actual TV show, get recruited or casted?
Yeah, I get that all the time. As soon as Survivor audition is open, get like flooded with messages, and I pretty much I did it the same as everyone else. You kind of do an audition tape, you fill out like a 10,000 page questionnaire. It's huge about everything. Send that away. And then you get like a message, email back saying, hey, yep, we like you. We'll jump on a Skype call, and then they talk to you through that. And then once you're kind of in the system, it can be anywhere for like, some people get asked within a week. Some people, mine first time took 3 months of just like back and forth, and then like doctor checkups, and then physicals, and then in-person interviews, and then group interviews. So it's a super long process. But I guess one thing that people probably want to know is like, what do I do in my audition tape? And the one thing I always tell people is just talk. If you can fill a space of like 2 minutes of just talking about yourself, they know you will be good for TV. If you just get on, if you go, hey, I'm Locky, and like I think I would be pretty good, and like you're not like, they want you to be able to talk because they're making a TV show. Like yeah, they want you to be able to hold a conversation.
And I guess for them as well, you know, ideally they film hours and hours and hours of footage, and then they cut it all the way down. And so if you can talk to a camera for, 40 minutes or something, that helps them a lot with the amount of content that they have to then clip together into the show. So that does make a lot of sense. Yeah.
I think Survivor, they chopped down 100 hours of footage to make 1 hour episodes.
Wow.
So like there's so much, and if you can talk as much as you can for most of that, you're going to get on TV.
Yeah.
So what's like, I'm interested to know, and you've sort of answered some of this already, but what's the business of TV and game show television like? Like, how did you make a career of it? Do you get paid as you go through each show, or is it only if you win, sort of thing? I know there's a lot of prize money, for example, if you win Survivor. And then getting back on, I'm assuming you didn't have to do all that work that you had to do for the first one?
Yeah, so the only one I applied for was the first Survivor, and then I got asked to do All Stars, and then got asked to do Bachelor, and then got asked to do SAS. And I guess the first Survivor, you get paid peanuts. It's like $90 a day.
Wow.
And I was away for 65 days, but you get the chance to win $500,000. So, and it's just like the coolest experience. But I guess the business side of it, like going back again and again, like it just depends on, like I remember with SAS, like just how big you were in like fame, stardom, or like what you've done in thing, like people were getting paid like all over the place. So TV is kind of a crazy world. There's like some people that like do everything for free because they just want to get out there. Some people like just hold out for money, but yeah, it really just depends on like how good of a negotiator you are.
So you're not all on the same contract?
No, hell no.
Really?
No.
That's interesting.
No. Well, especially on SAS, like some people were getting paid a lot of money. And then some people were getting paid peanuts, but yeah.
So do you negotiate that when you're organising it to go on, or do you have to?
Depends if you've got a manager. Most people have a manager. I'm extremely hard to be managed.
Right.
So yeah, it's for me. I tend to manage myself. With most TV shows, I did have a manager because it's with those ones. It's quite a lot of money, so you don't really want to be missing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually so interesting, and I had no idea that was going to be your answer. So that's and then on the flip side, I guess the TV shows are looking for lack of a better term, like a return on investment. So they'll bring on, stars of all different and maybe they have a salary cap for a show, and then they'll like apportion it depending on who and what they get, and then
most shows they have, like say for Survivor they've got 24 people. They already know those 24 characters. So then they go out and try to fit each of those characters. So that's how it starts. So like they'll go out, they've got 24 people. We want the like adventure hero, like masculine guy. I fit that one, the first one, but then they want like the mum, they want like the kind of nerdy, not too good at sports. Then they want like the lazy guy. Then they want the like instigator. So they have every show has those characters, and they go out and try to pick those people.
Right, I didn't know that. That's
so interesting.
Because they already have storylines for those characters.
Yeah.
So like even before, and then so they go, we want this to happen. We know the public likes this, so we want this storyline to happen. Let's go fit those. Let's go find those stars or those people to hopefully fit those storylines that are going to do well with the public when they're watching.
And then they can push the show to go down that plot line that they've already written.
Hopefully, yeah.
Right.
So they don't actually like tell you that when they're casting you, but they just have that in the back of their mind.
They just know, like they know they know who you are. Like the casting producers are like, and the people that do the interviews, they're so smart. Like they can get you, they'll just make you go down a line of questioning and stuff, and then you'd be like, oh no, I've said something I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we want to ask, like, I guess, since TV as well, what has like The Bachelor, SAS Australia, and Survivor, like, what has that opened up for you? I guess, now you've got a massive Instagram following. You do a lot of, I guess, partnership deals and stuff like that. What has that given you?
Oh, heaps. More than I could ever ask for. And so, yeah, like all the brand deals and like trips and everything, it's all like amazing. And like I've been the luckiest person in the world. But yeah, you get brand deals and flights and everything. But what people don't see is like the work that goes in behind it. It's like they see this one photo of you promoting like a hotel or something, but there's the months-long email chain of trying to figure out everything, talking it, like, especially if you're managing yourself, and then you got to go there, take the photos, and then edit the photos, and then so it's not like we just go on a trip and then just kind of lays around. Like you got to make sure like you get the right photos, you're doing the right thing, you're talking to like. There's a lot that goes behind it, but like I'm not taking away. Like it's a bloody good deal.
Well, no, I remember like I was lucky enough to climb Kilimanjaro with you, and you lugged all your camera gear, all of your like production gear up. You were planning, some of the shots you had to take. You're doing extra hikes up different peaks and stuff like that, like getting shots of yourself, the landscape, other people around, the villages and stuff on the way. Like it was like an epic trip, but you were working. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're always working, and especially with doing a lot of TV, you're always kind of watched. Like everywhere I go, they're like, it's not too much anymore, but like someone's always watching you. Like, and then so you always got to be on, and that kind of is like you're always working.
Yeah. Does that wear you down at all? Like, do you sometimes?
Massively.
Yeah.
Massively,
like when you're in public, it just is it for little things, or is it like when you're, for example, you're going on a hike or something, or is it?
Hiking's not too like unless you cam. Like
right.
people like I was talking to Cam there, like when we go on a hike, they recognize him. When we go to a supermarket, I get recognized. So completely different. But it does wear you down. Like my social anxiety has gone way up since I've been on TV. So like I've become more of an introvert since I've been seen as an extrovert. Like it's very weird because you just go into things like you're like, oh no, is someone watching me? Will they say this? Like, and you're like, do they know me? Like, do they hate me from SAS? Do they like me from Survivor? Did I pick the right person? It's like, and like these, like most of the time, like they don't give a shit. But in your head, you're just running through these scenarios.
I was going to ask a little bit about that. How do you feel like, you get portrayed in some things? Because obviously, like you just mentioned of how there's these different characters and the shows, it makes it easier for them to then plan it that way. But does it feel like unfair and like, or even other participants you've talked to where someone gets cut up in the post editing?
Does not happen.
No?
So many people like, oh, I got edited the wrong way. Like, that's not, I said, yeah, that's you. Like on SAS, like I was like can't swear, but like I was just like this egotistical kind of person. That's me. Like, and if the people that are saying, oh, that's not me, I got edited that wrong, they just don't know that they're actually that person. So
interesting.
Yeah, so many people, like especially that go on The Bachelor, they're like, oh, I didn't say that, I didn't edit. Yeah, you did. Just own it. Like, yeah, so many people just claim that I got edited that way. Yeah, it might be edited to sound a bit worse, but you're still that person.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's like things can be exaggerated on camera, but it's still the way it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they'll something that took like a week is that they've like condensed it over and looked like in one day, so it looks like it's like this massive blow up over 24 hours, but it still happened.
Yeah, okay.
And the interesting thing is like also getting the insight from you before, they knew tried probably pretty purposefully when they cast all the the different characters that you were that type of person as well.
Yeah,
so they were
100%.
trying to like elicit these types of responses and you're just feeding in.
Exactly the storyline of me and Paulie on SAS, they knew we were going to blow up at each other. They knew we were going to make TV. So anytime there was like a pairing, me and Paulie. Anytime there was a team, me and Paulie. So that's what they're so smart. That makes good TV. They're spending, I mean, for Bachelor, it cost, I think it was like $20 million just to find me a bloody wife. So they have to make good
It's
TV.
their job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough. So I guess
Money well spent.
yeah, I mean, moving on a bit away from the TV, like I guess, since you've, from the days of being on The Bachelor, on SAS Australia and Survivor, what have you been up to? Like, what's been occupying your time now that you're not on shows?
If I'm not out adventuring, I have an adventure company in Bali, which I lived over there for 3 years. Head guide, was jumping through waterfalls, swimming with manta rays, mountain biking down volcanoes. That was unbelievable. COVID hit, then I went to do The Bachelor. But that took up a lot of my time. Like, I lived in Bali for 3 years and it was the best. Like, I absolutely loved that kind of lifestyle. But then after that, yeah, kind of went heavily into TV, hosted the Full Drive show here in WA. Literally just launched another business now, more with like adventure cargo racks and bike racks and spare tire carriers and stuff. So yeah, heavily into kind of starting my own business that revolves around my lifestyle.
Yeah, awesome. Just a quick intermission. Thanks so much for listening. If we could just ask a quick favor, if you could send this to a friend and recommend it, we would greatly appreciate it. It's easy to do and it helps the show out. Thanks.
So how do you, like, I guess, transition? Obviously, these are your passions, but like, how do you, I guess, design products or come up with the ideas? Like, does it just come to you, or is there like a bit of a structured process you're going through?
There's not one thing about me that's structured. I've got like,
Okay.
I was last year I started, so I was like diagnosed with like heavy ADHD. Like I can, like Hirsch would know, like I would probably come up, before I started Nova, I'd probably have about 17 different business ideas every single week at least.
Yeah.
But I think just like, yeah, trying to come up and design it with, I just try to write everything down and like try to find out what sticks and what really I'm passionate about. The best advice, I don't know where I heard it or I made it up, but it was like, when you're thinking about doing something, like, do you see yourself being that person for the next 5 years? Because anything good takes 5 years. So if you can't see yourself living and breathing and talking to your best friends, talking to strangers about that one thing, don't do it.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It, like, I don't know, Luke's kind of saying that people overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in like 2 or 5 years. And it's very much about that. Like, if you want to actually do something, compound that effort and get something out of it, like, it does take time. And it's not about like putting in lots of effort really quickly. It's about just consistency as well.
And it's just about loving what you do. I know it's like cliche, like you have to love what you do, but like, yeah, everything takes time, and if you're not in love with what you're doing, it's going to get like annoying, and you're going to lose interest so quick.
It becomes way easier to dedicate time to something that you, even if you have those bad days where it's hard work, but if you still enjoy it overall,
exactly,
you look past that short-term grind or whatever it is, just because you know that you do enjoy it. And so yeah, it definitely makes it easier.
It's super easy to love the good days, but if you love the bad days,
Yeah.
it makes the good days even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Just as an example, give us a spiel on Nova, what you've just created. I'm interested to see like how your passions and stuff filter down the whole way to like an actual product, an actual business, an idea.
Yeah, I suppose it all came because I had a skincare company that I started after The Bachelor, and I had that, and this is pretty much going into exactly what I said. I was like, yep, this is all good, like it's a good product, and like I was selling it, and then I got it up to doing really well, and then I like came up with that realization: do I love it? Do I see myself doing this for the next 5 years? And I was like, I don't want to be the skincare guy for the next 5 years. That's just boring. So I just pretty much shelved that. And then that's when I always had the idea of like this base station at the back of your car that has like a table, cargo box, a shower, and it just swings out so you can still get into the back of your car. I had it for a while. And then I just like started drawing things down, and then found a CAD designer, and then found a manufacturer, and then found a CNC person, and then just kind of made a prototype, and kind of just went 6 months of just building it. Like, cause I built my own website, I built the own, designed it myself, and then pretty much manufacturing it myself as well. So it's just finding that one thing that you're passionate about and sticking with it.
Yeah, so and you realize the need for this and like the utility and like the value of it just because you're always out there, and you've probably got all of these things like your table, your cooking setup, your bike rack, your shower, all like compartmentalized across your ute. But you're like, why couldn't I put this all together for the people that are going to be out there doing this all the time?
Yeah, because I knew like a lot of people like, oh, you've got to find a product, got to find a product fit, you got to make sure everyone wants it. But I knew that, but then I also wanted to find a product that could create a lifestyle for me, because now that I'm a dad, I realize that like you've got your family time, you've got your like work time, and then you've got your hobbies. And I realized that my hobbies were getting a lot smaller. So I just thought, well, why can't I make my hobbies part of my business, so I can then give like 60% family, 40% hobbies and business, and combine that together. So it wasn't like I was like, I need to find a product that everyone wants and then I need to sell it. I was like, I need to find a product that creates an amazing lifestyle for me, but then also has product market fit.
Yeah,
I heard a really good thing. I'm big into startups, and I heard something because they talk about product market fit, but I also heard a take about product founder fit, which is that idea that product that you're going for, whether it's a company or whether it's an item, whatever it is, that suits you. And that's kind of like what we're talking about loving it. But if it fits the founder as well, like you're saying there, then your hobbies open up, because what you're working on is a hobby. And also there's the whole thing of like, if you solve a problem for yourself, you're probably solving it for someone else. So, that area, what you would want, and it's probably what someone else wants as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bit of a niche, I guess. Like Locky, for us, that's this podcast as well. Like we were just like super curious about the world, wanted to tell interesting stories, wanted to dig a little bit deeper and find the untold stories. And then turns out our listeners are super keen for that, even though it's not like particularly pigeonholed into one niche.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just that curiosity mindset.
Yeah. So Locky, I guess shifting back to that business side of what you've been working on, how did you learn about AI? I know that you've leveraged that a lot for the businesses that you have worked on. So how did you get involved with that? And I guess, what have you been using artificial intelligence for to make businesses?
Yeah, so I actually first heard about it on Kilimanjaro with you boy. I think Alex said something about ChatGPT. It just came out, I think. I was using other things like for copywriting, and then Alex told me about ChatGPT. Got home, fell in love with it. Like AI is. I remember one time when I was starting at like another business idea, I actually maxed out the pro version of ChatGPT because I was using it so much in a day. Yeah, you can. I was paying for it, and I maxed out my thing. They did it just like, you can't use it anymore, bro. Like, just settle down. For the last two years, I would use ChatGPT 10, 15 times a day. Like, I'll just get on and ask it questions, because I've taught my robot. I've got like Nova Gear emailing, Nova Gear social media, Nova Gear manufacturing, Nova Gear wholesaling. Like, I've taught each one of those chat bots exactly about, so like I can, even if I've forgotten about something, I'll just jump in like, hey, like, what's the measurement of this? Like, if I plus this, or like, what's the postage for this? Like, I just use it for, like, it's like my receptionist, like, and I have like 5 receptionists about it. I even use it for Instagram as well. So I'll get like a message from a brand that says, hey, we want to work with you. I'll literally just take their product pitch, their contract, put it into my social media bot, and then I just ask it like, hey, how much are they paying? And then how much can I get? And then it will just shoot me back, and then I'll like write me a polished email back to them, because I can't spell, or like my grammar's terrible. So I just like write me a polished email, send that back to them, boom, done. And then ChatGPT is my number one at the moment.
Mate, that is so interesting, and I actually love it, because like we talked a bit about AI on the show, and people like can be scared or intimidated by it, but essentially it just sounds like you've just tried and just learnt it from the inside out, and now you've got it working for you because you've put so much into it. Like, you really understand how it can feed you back like things of value.
I think if you're, like I've said a year ago, I fully believed it. I was like, if you're not using AI now, you're going to lose your job. And it's not like, oh, AI is going to take my job. It's just AI is going to make people better at their job. You can still keep your job, but if you're not using AI to leverage yourself, then you'll probably lose your job.
You're disadvantaged for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. And you're just significantly less productive, or you're probably just making yourself do a lot of the boring, dumb work that.
It saves so much time.
That's so incredible that like even you think about an adventure gear business, you're not necessarily thinking AI. You're thinking AI if it's like a software as a service business, or just like any tech solution type thing. But like, it's amazing that you can just automate so much of that. Whether it's admin stuff or just like document keeping, or like even analysis and calculation work through AI. That's incredible. I actually love that.
And I use Mid-Journey.
Yep.
I've got really good at Mid-Journey, just for even like email photos or like website photos, even just placeholders until you've got something in your head, and then you go, oh, I'll just put that into Mid-Journey, it pops it out, and you go, oh, now I know what I need to shoot. Like I use that just to get content ideas or just placeholders on my websites.
Interesting. That I've never heard it being used as a placeholder. That's actually a good idea to like trigger your thoughts as to what you do want there. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're building out a website or something, and like all the placeholders on the website builders are shit, so you just go into Mid-Journey. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is my brand, and then it gives you all that. And sometimes you just leave them up there because they look so good.
Yeah.
So cool, dude. It's actually awesome to like hear that, like Adventure Guy, has built this whole career of being like, the what were you cast at, like the macho alpha male in a Survivor series. You're using AI like more effectively than 90% of the population probably to run your businesses and life now. Well, I wanted to get your thoughts. What are you most excited about in terms of business and technology, AI maybe in the future?
God, I'd hate to see where it gets even better. Like, I think, like even stuff like, because I get like a AI update, and some of the stuff they're already doing where it's like proper chatbots that do everything for you, and then that reaches out to other people to like then hire. Like it just how it just takes out all that nitty gritty work that you don't want to do, and then it just brings you to the perfect person. I think that's just bridging the gap of all this admin that no one ever wants to do, and then you can get it for free. That's what I'm most excited about.
That's awesome. I use it at work as well. I use it for personal projects. I especially use it for code, or like often like explaining something to do, not necessarily like actually pushing out the code that I want, but especially when something's new and I can just really streamline learning something way faster than I'd be able to otherwise. But yeah, I guess talking about this, you've got an 8-month-old. What's life like at the moment? Like, what are you currently working on? Whether that's with these tools or not.
Yeah, so at the moment it's just all Nova gear. Like you just had before, coding. Like I code my own email newsletters. So I'll get ChatGPT. So in my email one, I just go into ChatGPT. Hey, I need this email with this text, and it already knows how my email structure up. So it'll give me that, and then I go, okay, now put it in code. Put it all in code, and then I just transfer that to Klaviyo, and then it does. Because I tried it with a developer, and they just did the same thing. But ChatGPT does it for $20 a month.
The funny thing is, we talked to another founder of a tech startup Field, and he said like he does dev stuff and uses ChatGPT himself, but then he had devs that he was like interviewing for, and he said if they were working remotely, they were just doing that. They were literally just putting the stuff into ChatGPT and feeding it back, and probably had like 8 jobs or something. But it's wild that you can do that. So like, if you had to summarize your journey with learning this type of stuff, these tools, AI, like what has it been? Just trial and error, and just like hearing about something new and getting into it?
Yeah, just like this is why I love meta advertising, because I don't even need to say it. I just think of something, and then an AI bot that does that exact thing will come up on my meta things, and I'm buying it for $20 a month. Like I think I've subscribed to like 100 things at $20 a month that I've used once and never use again. But yeah, that's just how I see something, look at it, give it a go. If it's shit, get rid of it, and then just keep trying everything, because every single one pretty much does the same thing, but it's like the little things that you're like, oh, that saves me so much time.
I absolutely love this. That Locky from Survivor, SAS, The Bachelor is become a prompt engineer, and he's explaining to everyone how unreal it is and how you could do it. I definitely wouldn't have had this on my bingo card for 2024. But
no, but that's a phenomenal thing. Like that's why I really wanted to get you on, because like it shows that like you don't have to be Luke with a software engineering degree or like a computer science degree to do all this stuff. Like you've literally made a living and built businesses through it.
Oh, I've built Nova Gear is fully built with AI. Like all my copy on the website, like it's all me and ChatGPT just talking to each other. I literally go and I give it my spiel and then go find the keywords for this, SEO, look up this, and then it just spits out, and then I just copy and paste the code into a website.
That's epic. Locky, we're very close to time. This has been bang on, like, I guess, what we're looking to get out of it. But we have one last question that I absolutely love. So you've been on, a host of TV shows. You've got a massive following. You've lived around the world, Europe and Bali and in Perth. You have a beautiful family now. You've got businesses. You've learnt and mastered AI in some ways. But I guess what we want to ask and what we want to finish with is, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Fireman.
Mate, you would
that's
be
the most
iconic fireman, I think.
It's always the thing that I like. If I could be anything, it'd be a fireman, because that's just the coolest thing ever.
That's so. That's probably the most specific, direct, and like instant answer we've ever got. Everyone like thinks about it and like gives some thoughtful response. But
it was because I saw my mate, that's a fireman, literally like 2 hours ago. You have to sign up. There's 1 month left to go sign up, and I was like, God, man, if I could get paid well for fireman, I'd probably pack it in and do that.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. Like, I reckon I've just gotten so much out of this episode, like getting you behind the scenes into like what actually happens with TV casting, how shows are made, what they're trying to do, and how that comes through, how you built businesses, what life's like now as an adventurer, father, public figure, and just how you get into tech. Like, I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You've been an absolute killer, Curiosity Crisis.
No worries, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Fascinating chat, Locky. Huge look behind the curtain, and a look at other things too. It's been a really good chat.
Cheers.
Mate, thank you so much. I'll wrap up with thanks for listening. Find us at curiositycrisis.com and Curiosity Crisis on Instagram. We're on all major streaming services, so you can listen how you like. I'll ask a favor, if you got anything out of this episode, please give us a 5-star review on your podcast player. Your recommendation always is worth a lot. So thank you, and catch you on the next episode.